Weeks ago I received a message from one of my Patreons, Sol, who you probably will see on the end of my videos if you watch my videos to the end, of course, and if you watch my videos regularly. If you're not, why are you not? Explain yourself. But Sol highlighted something called Tinker OS, or Tinker Writer Deck, a laptop writer deck OS, and it's effectively a no distractions operating system for writing, whether it's, I don't know, screenplays like I do, or novels, or just generally whatever writing you want to do. And of course it piqued my interest, so today I'm going to do a video on it. Thank you, Sol, and we'll have a look at that. Now, I have done a video on screenwriting on Linux before, and my approach to screenwriting on Linux, so you can look for that video if you're interested in that. Otherwise, let's actually just look at the screen and look at this thing. Okay, so this is the website, tinker.sh, Tinker Writer Deck, or Tinker OS, however you want to describe it or call it. It says convert any laptop and most Chromebooks into a writer deck, a device designed solely for writing, no distractions, no internet, no apps, no games, no social media, just writing. And effectively what this makes me think of is that turning your laptop into just a typewriter, but in a digital form. Okay, and now there are caveats to this. You can use it as a normal OS if you choose to, but it's designed and set up to be a typewriter, an elaborate typewriter. Let's just put it in those principles. We'll show you what it looks like. Okay, pretty simple. That's the front page. You can download it. Obviously there's an about page, install. So if you go into the download page, you can download it there. There's a torrent download as well. Be aware, it will not work on an ARM processor. It's very simple to install. Now again, so this is actually, I've got it installed on a virtual machine, as you can see here. However, it's a bit annoying changing between. Now, however, if you want to install it on bare metal and you don't know how, just look at my video of installing Arch Linux. That shows you how to set up a bootable USB key. Just replace, obviously, the Arch Linux ISO with the downloaded Tinker OS ISO. This is simple enough. Or, you know, learn how to install on a virtual machine. But let's then look at the about. So again, Tinker Writer Deck is an operating system used to convert laptops, mini Chromebooks. Yep, sort of seen that. Solely for writing text. It is based off Debian or Debian. So it's not a bleeding edge, but it doesn't matter because it's just really an elaborate way to turn your computer, or is that an elaborate way? Well, having to install a whole OS, but it needs something to boot up. I don't know what I'm saying really, but it's got to boot an OS to boot basically a text editor. That's what it's doing. Okay, and then so here you go. It sits on top of a headless Debian Linux image and boots directly into the console-based text editor, and it uses the Tilde text editor because it's a simple text editor. Okay, we'll get into all this. So you can read that if you want more information. So as a disclaimer for the install, don't worry about that. So again, there is actually a tutorial on their website for creating a flashable USB. So if you want to follow that instead of my own videos on doing that. Okay, so again, it will be a headless Deb. Now what it does is, because I've already installed it, it just installs automatically. You don't have to do anything, and then it will just give you an instruction. I think it says press enter, and it will reboot once the install's done, and it gives you here a default username and password. Now of course you can, if you know how to change that, look at my tutorials, you can change the username and password. So mine's already logged in, so don't worry about that, and that will just load up the Tilde text editor. Okay, so that's what it looks like. and after startup shutdown, so if you're running on bare metal, just hold down the power button, it will power off. You can technically go into a command line and do it that way, but that's the instructions there. And what have we got here? So usage instructions. So let's actually get into how to use it. So like I said, this is what it looks like. This will, after you log in, this is what it will look like. It is just the Tilde text editor, okay? So again, by principle, it is just loading a text editor for you to write whatever you're writing, to save it, and then I guess export it by USB key, or technically you could set up a printer if you wanted to print it out, or an email. But this is again what it's all about. No distractions, no opportunity to be distracted. My personal thoughts on that are that I've got enough self-control, but I understand, you know, the temptations of distractions, and I do like the access to the internet if I need to reference things and whatever. Okay, let's have a look at some of the instructions. Now it's a bit awkward to navigate from this virtual machine at the moment. I don't know why. Maybe it's the ISO, the way it uses the master key. Don't worry. Don't need to worry about that. That's just me. Okay, so use instructions. Always remember to save. There's no auto saving. So power, turn on, press power button. Turn off, press the power button. Alternate, you can press Control Q to quit. Command line type shutdown. Press enter. To use Tilde, press Alt F to bring up the menu. Okay, so I'm not going to bother shutting it down. You can see that from there. I'm not going to also put on screen key because you don't need, you know, you can see the keys here. So you can change the color scheme. So, okay, let's see what it looks like writing. So the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Okay, now I do not like the color scheme, but you can change this color scheme. So if I come out of full screen mode and go back into the instructions, so to change the color scheme, press Alt O. Okay, so Alt O, and then I think it's interface, and then interface area attributes. Okay, so you could change the text to say change bold, dim, reverse, blink, foreground color. So what is it at the moment? It's like grey. Okay, and then background color, let's go black. Okay, okay, so that's more how I would like it, to be honest. That's how I would have it. Now let's have a quick look at so you've got various tools, you've got options, help. So I guess if I do Alt F, yeah, so Alt F brings up your access to the menu, because remember this is keyboard driven, this is in a TTY. I guess it's using curses or whatever to draw some of the stuff on the screen. So you can have a look at that. We can go back into the usage instructions. So we've changed the color scheme, that's fine. You can enable word wrap. So word wrap is, if I go back into this, let's do that, okay. Oh yeah, what about the about? I'm just going to have a look at the about. This will tell you how old Tilde, the text editor, is. It's 2018, this build. Now I don't actually know how old the latest build is on Debian, let's say the package. But if I go back again, and I can show you the GitHub here was last updated 5 months ago, but I don't know. I've never heard of this until now, I don't think. It's not something I would use. Vim, of course, but this is what comes packaged with it. And we will get into being able to change the default text editor. Okay, so where were we? About. Okay, that one. So word wrap. So if I go back into this and I keep typing keep typing to the end of the screen, as you'll see, it will just keep going. So if I hit Alt O and input handler, oh I don't want that. Can't remember what it was now. Buffer defaults, buff as a default, so Control F, let's go across actually. Tools, options, buffer defaults. Oh, here we go. So you can have like tab size, wrap text. Oh, I never like these things. So you got to hit space, wrap text. Okay, I don't actually know where this ends. I'll be honest. I don't know. This is not really working for me. So, okay. I don't know if that worked. Whatever. User error, skill issues, I don't know. So you've got USB access. So these are like the basics really. So again, we can have a quick look at how you might be able to access that. To access the file system, press Control key. So I think with the USBs they have an auto mount system. Okay, so you shouldn't have to mount anything, but I could always cover that quickly. And you can navigate to the file system, so you can use bash. It's got bash obviously. Okay, let's have a quick look at that. So if I hit Control Q, it will ask, would you like to save? I'll just hit yes. Okay, and then you can choose where you want to save it. Let's call it test. Okay, if I hit LS, now you can see it's got test saved in the home directory. So if I do pwd, home author's the login, but it is just a Linux system. So if I go cd, you can see there's home directory, cd again, ... and we're in the root, or not, we're in the slash directory. So if I go cd home author, and we're back into the home directory. There's the USB. So if we do ls-lha, USBs is automatically linked to media author. Okay, so I don't know. I guess it does some sort of. It's got some automatic mounting. Otherwise, you can do sudo mount, and if it depends what it comes up. So do lsblk, plug in your thing, USB, do lsblk again. It should show up as a USB device or media device, probably SDB. So you can do sudo mount dev SDB if it's SDB1 or SDB2, and then do slash. You could do mount. It's got MNT if you want to do the cliche mount directory, or you can mount it, I don't know, under media author. I would just do it like that. If it doesn't work automatically, just do sudo mount dev SDB1 if that's the name of your device, SDB1, and then onto mount, and then you can just hit enter and then cd into the mount directory, and you'll have your files if you've got any files in USB, and then you can copy and save it to there. So you could do let's say you wanted to copy that into mounts, you could do sudo cp, I guess you need to do sudo because it's in there, and then do test and then mnt and hit enter, and if you go into sudo cd mnt, there's your file, but it will obviously be saved to the USB anyway. Okay, I digress. Okay, so what else? So we've got some more advanced here, so you can do, well, it says advanced, but Control Q to quit Tilde. You can restart Tilde by typing Tilde. Start it again. What else have we got here? Change keyboard layout. So there you go. You can change keyboard layout if you want to. Keyboard configuration. To use a different text editor. Now this is where I would change what I do. Now I would use Vim. Okay. And it says you can use apt to install more because it's Debian based. So if I was doing this, I'd do sudo, or do your sudo apt update. Okay. Obviously, if you haven't got internet, check out my what am I doing? Is it 8 packages? To update. Anyway, I digress. I'm going so off tangent this year. Now, what was I saying? So I would use Vim, okay? I've done a tutorial on Vim. You can use whatever you want, but if you're going to install it, sudo apt update, and then once you've done update, do upgrade. Okay, hit yes. Let's take a moment. Not a good idea to do it now, but whatever. And it shouldn't take too long, I hope. Yeah, so I'd install Vim. That's my preference, but you can use whatever. Now, interesting, we'll look at the auto start in a minute, and I'll show you what it says you can use pre-installed, interestingly. Oh my word, that wasn't a good idea, was it? See, I don't edit anything out. I don't know if I've not done this justice in a way, but it is just what it is. It's just you know, an OS that boots into a text editor. I've just used Vim. I think it's a good idea as an idea, but I personally don't need it. You can even put in full disk encryption. You can sync to cloud services. So again, you know, you might want internet access. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying about internet access. Look at my Arch Linux install. That shows you how to install Network Manager and set up Network Manager. This is basically what it's suggesting. So I think it might have NMCLI already installed Network Manager, so you could just use NMCLI. It's pretty simple. And obviously I'm on a virtual machine, so I've got internet access already. So it's still going. Nearly done. And yeah, so this is one of the other text editors it's got installed called Joe, or Joe's own editor, which I think I'd heard of, which is another text command line, terminal-based text editor running the TTY like Tilde, but I wouldn't use it. We'll have a look at it in a second. I don't know, it's just not, you might use it, I don't know anybody use it. And of course it's got nano. So sudo apt, so we've done the sudo apt update and upgrade, sudo apt install Vim. Now I've already got it installed, so I don't need to. So let's look at Joe's, and you just type Joe. This is Joe's. I'm going to Control C to quit. You can look up instructions if you want to. So if you do, well, I guess you could do tilde.profile, which is in your home directory, and if we look down here, see what's commented out. Now they've got tilde here. Now I would actually, I don't know, keyboard layout here. So I'd comment that out, and I would use, after I've done that, I would use user slash bin, can't type, Vim, okay? And let's save that. How do I save? Let's do Control Q, yes. So when you reboot, it will just load up Vim. So if I start up Vim, you know how Vim looks, that's Vim. It's just, for me, the best way to work. Beautiful. Okay. Quit that. If I know how to use it. So there you go. That's pretty much it. It's literally what it wants it to be. You know, it's very simple. It's a Debian install with pre-configurations that just get you into a text editor to start writing. Really interesting little project here. I can see why people would want to use it. It was serious about writing. If you do need that extra, if you do lack a certain discipline, I would say this is probably what you want. But I'm okay with that. I don't need it, but it's an interesting product. I'll put the links in the description, and anyway, I think we'll leave it there. So thanks again, Sol, for highlighting that. Soul is one of my Patreons, and I've got two other Patreons, Sean and HDX18Nerd. Thank you guys very much. You'll be able to see their names on the screen right now. Hopefully I can see more of you guys. The links in the description will show you how to join the Patreon. And yeah, so leave it there. And I'll see you in the next one.